What's up, it's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and the USMNT national U20 team just beat Paraguay 2-0, and man, that's so refreshing to see this team play after dealing with the senior team for these last few games. Forgot like a palate cleanser, that was a chaser. We needed to see this game, and we had a couple of really good performances, and I think we had a very strong tournament. I thought we were the better team in every game we played, even that loss against Mexico, and I come away looking forward to seeing these guys develop because, man, from the Revelations Cup that we had last year where we came in completely unprepared, it took, I think it was 2 days before the tournament that the manager was hired. Just between that and now, I think players have shown a ton of improvement. The group's come together, and I'm really looking forward to this under 20 World Cup. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. For the actual game, we dominated the most of the ball. We limited chances for Paraguay, and we're creating a lot of good chances. I love the creativity we showed, and a couple of good finishes. We probably should have scored a couple more, but we don't have a real striker with this group, so it's what it is. For individual players, a lot of really good performances. Kevin Paredes came away with the first goal. He was looking good, looking dangerous out the entire time. He combines very well with the midfield. He helps him build up, dangerous on the dribble, can put the ball in the back of the net. I think that him and Sullivan should have swapped sides, have Kevin Paredes cut in from the right, make him a bigger goal threat, Sullivan cutting in from the left, make him a bigger goal threat, especially because we don't really have anybody to aim for in the middle. But still, I think he did a very good job. Sullivan as well. He looked dangerous throughout the entire game. I think that he's shown a lot of growth. He looks so much better technically. Now, decision making is a lot more calm. You can really see the growth that he's had in this last year, really. He's getting a lot better. I'm hoping that he gets a lot more time at the Philadelphia Union next season because, man, he's a very good player. Brian Gutierrez came in. Man, I talked about this a little bit last game, but I just love the way he carries himself. I can't really explain it, but he just looks confident, looks dangerous on the ball. You can tell playing with Shaqiri definitely helped him. And he's making a case for being a starter for this full-strength team because he's, similar to everybody, I'm going to be talking about, really technical on the ball, being able to put the ball in the back of the net. He's grown a lot. He looks like a lot, he's put some muscle on. That's going to happen with every player. But another guy just looking really good. And Jack McGlynn in the midfield, super creative, can pick out a pass for the best of them. I think his speed of play has gone up a lot as he's played a lot more in the first team. He's one of the first Philadelphia Union player of these four to really break in and become a regular. He's not a locked-in starter, but he's playing just about every game and getting a good amount of minutes as well. Man, just really talented, really creative, best left foot out of any American period right now. Such a good player. Then we got Brandon Craig, and man, after dealing with Walker Zimmerman and Aaron Long for a couple of games, watching a center back who's competent on the ball is so nice. Oh, they're giving him time? Okay, he'll dribble into space, and he'll pick out a pass after that. He'll draw on a defender near him, and then as that defender closes in and there's a gap that opens in the defense, he will pick out a pass. Oh my God, it is so nice to see somebody who can do that. Just can so good on the ball, and he's developing defensively. I think he's the only spot on the back line who's locked in, needs to be a starter. Just such a great player. But Justin Che as well, he's locked in just what position he's going to play. He got forward pretty well. I thought he's another guy who's looked a lot better recently. I think playing in Germany's helped, even though he hasn't gotten many games, just those training sessions. He's very good on the ball. When you're evaluating players, especially at this age, you have to see, if they have, a technical floor to them. Because if they're not good technically, you either have to be, a freak athlete or you're kind of an irrelevant player. Honestly, watching the senior team, you're Aaron Long, you're Paul Arriola, you're Jordan Morris. You have to be so good, and Justin Che's shown that he is that good. He is that technical, which I think is very important. I'd like to see him at center back. He did a very good job there in the first game. I think that he can do that job. We'll have to see. Maybe it's in a back three, but just wherever he plays, it's going to be exciting to watch him. There were a couple other decent performances. Diego Luna, I'm putting down here just because I think I'm raising my expectations for him. But I think I'd put him down as like average. He's did a lot better today keeping the ball in possession. He's such a creative player, but I think I'd probably want him off the bench at this point, just be able to bring him on, bring some creativity, because he's not going to bring much defensively. He can give the ball away a bit. Like, I really want to see how he adapts to the MLS, because I'm not sure if that's the best environment for him. I might have looked to go to somewhere like Belgium or Portugal if I were him. But we're going to have to see how he does with Real Salt Lake. I think it's going to be interesting to see him grow. Then Daniel Edelman, he's another player who has grown as he's gotten that more first-team minutes. Looks a lot better on the ball. Still pretty solid defensively. I'm still not like sure if he's going to be like great at any one thing, but it's really good to see the progression that he's had. Chris Brady, I should have put Chris Brady up in good. That was my bad. Did he make a mistake today? I think he was perfect. He had to make a couple good saves, like just a really good all-around performance. Jonathan Gomez, I was honestly expecting a little bit more from Jonathan Gomez this Revelations Cup. Because I was talking about calling him into the World Cup just to get him cap-tied, because I think he's that much of a can't-miss prospect, and we really lack the left-footed players. It's more of that than anything. But honestly, I think Caleb Wiley might have had a better tournament. Not to say Gomez was bad, but I think he could have been a bit better. I think the only performer who really needs to show some improvement was Marcus Ferkranus today. Giving the ball away a good amount. Not perfect defensively, like neither was Craig, but you'd like to see him be a lot better if he's not going to be that guy on the ball. And honestly, we've got a lot of really good players. I'll talk about that later, but I'm not sure if he should still be in the team moving forward for the World Cup, because we've got a very good team and a very good group, and we've got to make sure we have the best players. For our substitutes, we had Rokas Puskas come on, and okay, with Rokas Puskas, I really like his talent, because I was mentioning before that like technical floor, he has it, and I think he's a very good athlete as well. And because of that, like, you see all the traits you need to be a good player, and he's the second youngest guy on the team. I think Caleb Wiley's the youngest. He's like the second youngest, and by like a decent amount. But it's kind of like when I'm talking about Jesus Ferreira. It's like I see the talent, but he shouldn't really be in this group. He's making too many mistakes, and he's costing the team. Maybe Mark McKenzie's a good comparison. Like, I'd probably leave him off because Daniel Leiva's playing great with Seattle. Like, we do have to keep in mind that we've got some really good players, but Puskas, he is an extremely talented player. It would not surprise me if he has the best pro career out of any of these center mids. But just at the moment, we want to go far at this World Cup, so I'd probably bring in an older player. Paxton Aronson, I want to see him in the midfield some more with this team, especially because Ricardo Pepi, like, he should be with the U20 team. Like, he's probably be the best player on the U20 team, but he's not a senior player, not yet. And a good performance against Honduras shouldn't confuse us. So I think if we have Ricardo Pepi in the team, I'd still start Paxton Aronson, but it'd be in the midfield. His finishing, like, maybe the Hayes Ferreira comparison again, like, it was good against the lower level of opposition, but as the competition we're playing gets higher, like, I'd like to see him in a more natural position. I'd like to see him in the midfield. That's where he's going to be long term. So, would like to see him in his preferred position. He's still very good. Like, I loved his movement. The finishing wasn't really there, but he's going to be a great player. Same with Alejandro Alvarado. Like, dude, that guy probably is the prospect I'm the highest on right now. Like, we've got a lot of good players in this team, but he brings athleticism, defensive ability, amazing technically, very good in the final third. Like, everything that you want out of a player. He's starting to get some time in Portugal. Like, he's might be the closest to the senior national team right now. Because, man, he's a very good player, and it's going to be fun to watch him moving forward. And, yeah, that's really my thoughts on this team. Had a couple of really nice performances. I think I was mentioning before, defense might be a bit of an issue right now. Like Craig is a sure starter, Wiley or Gomez is fine. Justin Che, I really like him, but I think we had like the U19 team we have. They just won a tournament in Slovakia. Like they did a very good job, and there's a couple of players that I think we definitely have to consider calling up. And we had well, if we want to move Justin Che to center back, Mercer Cuevas is good, but I think Alex Freeman is a right back that we should definitely give a look to. And if we want to keep Che on the right, we've got Josh Winder. He's the guy who's been showing out for Louisville, and Kobe Henry, who won the USL with Orange County. He moved to Raymond, France. Like, those guys are definitely some people I want to see. Maybe not in like an actual tournament setting, but we're going to be having a lot of camps. I definitely want them into like a camp. And should we not have Ricardo Pepi, Rodrigo Neri, the Atletico Madrid striker, or maybe Marcos Zambrano Delgado, who's the next big Philadelphia Union prospect? I'd probably have one of them in because I think we should have a striker. If not them, like maybe an NCAA guy. Roald Mitchell has been doing very well for Wake Forest. Sam Sarver looks very good for Indiana right now. Maybe one of them, but I think there's a lot of players that we can give a look to, and this team is talented enough already. Like, this pool is getting, like, so deep. Like, man, it's really fun to see. It's going to be fun to watch these guys play. Like, there's a ton of talent. I'm really looking forward to this U20 World Cup, and, man, it was good to watch this team after dealing with the senior squad. And, yeah, that's all I've talked about. Nice to be positive for a change. I don't really like being negative. It's fun to just be able to just be excited about a team and talk about them. And, yeah, that's all I've talked about right now. See ya.